They're not the ideal security object. They fall out of the cot, they're thrown out of the cot, etc. So we recommend that the dummies are actually thrown out of around 6 months and they're replaced by a security object. Because what babies like from about 6-7 months is a security object, like a stuffed toy or a teddy bear that reminds them and represents mum, only mum, when mum is unavailable. Because this is a transition period between 6 months and 4 years, let's say, in which the baby needs to separate as an identity from the mother. And to do that, it makes it easier if they have their own cuddling security object. And I suggest that that cuddling security object needs to be something that looks like mum, that feels like mum, that smells like mum. So we suggest, for instance, getting the stuffed toy to have some of mum's deodorant, hair shampoo, conditioner, whatever she can put on it that's reasonable. Put it down her blouse for a few hours, body smells, lie on it for a few hours, so it really reeks of mum. And smells are very important, you know, for our whole emotional lives and emotional worlds. As you know, smells bring back emotional memories. So smell like mum, look like mum. I suggest even taking a photo and you can imprint it on the security object. Okay, oh, there's mum. And then they settle by themselves and go to sleep rather than signalling to mum and dad for help when they have sleep problems. And the third thing is actually feel, touch, very important. So if mum's got a nice satin pyjamas, she can tear out a bit of it and sew it onto the security object on the hand of the teddy, and then the baby again can use that as a way of settling, right, as they do with satin and things. So anything that represents mum in particular, and the truth is, I'm being sexist, but mums are more important in these first year or two. For a start, dads don't breastfeed. I tried, but it just didn't come off. And so transitional objects, these are called transitional objects, or comforting items, they're very important. And so dummies thrown away at about 6-7 months, transitional objects instead. Massage again represents, to a certain extent, all the abdominal muscle contractions, the psoas muscle contractions that mothers have, and in a way massage baby. And it's a wonderful interaction to have. And a bath is where the baby is in the amniotic fluid. Hypoallergenic feet, I really want to say a big thing about this. We've run a settling clinic in Ballarat for now 3 years, and we're running out of business. Our practice is actually diminishing, we're getting less and less referrals, and I'll tell you why. We worked it out because the word is out. We trial, if the baby's fully breastfed, exclusively breastfed, we suggest that the mother eliminate all dairy products from the diet. This is an irritable refluxy, maybe mild eczema, and maybe constipation. And we recommend full withdrawal for 10 days as a trial of all dairy products, including yogurt and cheese, creams and ice cream and milk, replaced with rice milk and or calcium caltrate. And a lot improve. A lot of babies improve. And so they do that, and they continue on rice milk or caltrate for a while and then challenge them periodically. The other group, the babies that are exclusively bottle-fed, we trial them on a hypoallergenic formula such as the extensively hydrolyzed Paediatrician or Alfare, or the amino acid formulas Neocate and Colicky, and the response is not universal, but by gee, it's higher than the literature suggests, 70–80%. We get a very high response to it. The reason we're going out of business is because we've got people that are now recommending it before they come to see us. We have a chiropractor in town who issues a can of Pepti Junior. He buys it, issues it, and then says, if this works, go and see your GP and you can get a script for it. And everyone's now recommending withdrawal from dairy products in the mother's diet. And it's working. I think they're getting better. And they don't need to see us anymore, which is terrific. It's a delight. But I do believe that the advent of I do believe that cow's milk protein, non-IgE mediated allergy is common. And there's others. I mean, there's soy, there's wheat, maybe eggs. So if you don't wean with milk, you might withdraw soy, wheat, eggs, and find. And David Hill's article from 2006, 2005 did show that withdrawing I think he withdrew 5 or 6 of the allergens from maternal diets and had a pretty good response with these colicky infants. So, you know, as Ralph said, we're all allergic. All babies are allergic when they're born, and they can't handle the cow's milk protein. They can't handle the wheat or the soy. So that's been a very, very important intervention, which has worked so well. The whole Ballarat community knows about it now, and they're trying it, and we're not seeing as much, which is great. But I think it's an amazing advance that hypoallergenic formulas seem to do the trick. So only the summary now, and that is, if you could just remember, SMS your baby, I'd be really pleased, because that is just something that parents can know about and hold on to and grab, and they look at their mobile phone. I'm going to SMS my baby, which is swaddle, movement and sounds. Thank you.
Okay, do we have a couple of questions for Dr. Harry before we finish up?
Ralph.
Yeah.
Just a practical question. You've replaced the baby cry with a louder noise. How does that settle things at home?
It's only a louder noise until the baby can hear it, so it may only be there for 30 seconds, 20 seconds, okay. And as soon as the baby can hear it, it's got to be louder. The baby hears it, is distracted, a little stunned, distracted. What the hell is this? You can see it in their face, and then they're settling, they're engaging. They become engaged in it, and then as they become engaged, they begin to soothe, and as they're soothing, we turn it down. So we don't keep it up.
So that was the bit that I didn't get.
Yes. Yeah, we don't keep it high. Yeah, 110 decibels is very high.
Just a comment with the high response rate to maternal elimination of dairy. We had about 80%, but placebo was 40%. So that's so you're up against the high background spontaneous improvement. Yeah.
Yes, Dr. Harry, that was delightful. I really enjoyed that.
You just like the magic.
Yeah, I really loved it.
No, I reckon that's the only reason kids come and see me. It's not the paediatrics.
I was going to ask you, just what about the SIDS recommendation about having a soft toy, you know, not until much later, let's say 18 months of age?
I think once they're 6-7 months, they do need a security object, a comforting item. And let's face it, by 6 months they're rolled into their tummy. Many babies like lying in their tummy. So I don't know whether the SIDS recommendations are that solid after 6 months. It doesn't have to be a huge toy. It's a balance, but I don't see too much problem with it. There is evidence, of course, as you know, that dummies protect against SIDS to a certain extent. And again, I'm not sure whether that persists beyond 6 months. But you know, it's been known for a long time that after 6 months babies have separation anxiety and stranger anxiety. Anxiety comes into, you know, and you know how long separation and strange anxiety lasts for?
I believe the peak for that is 18 months apparently, the separation anxiety, what I've read.
You're close, it's about 83 years. And then sibling rivalry, how long does that last for? Life.
Time for one last question, perhaps? Okay, well, I'd like to firstly thank Dr. Harry very much. I don't know if he had another magic trick in his... Oh, yeah.